Let's talk about nose, eyes, ears. They're born with the nose open. About 15 days after they're born, they open the eyes. About 21 days after they're born, they open the ears. This is what I call nose, eyes, ears. So the mother is scent before sight, before sound. Their nose is the most powerful thing for them to relate, to connect. Their nose is like our eyes. If we don't see it, we don't believe it. So you can hear about a guy who can walk a pack of dogs, but you're not going to believe it. You got to see the guy, and then you believe it, right? So a dog would not believe anything until he smells it. So he will not know anything about me until he smells me. So what is best for their balance is nose, eyes, ears, meaning you're not going to touch, talk, or give eye contact. It's best for that kind of behavior is not going to help the dog to see you and understand you in a better way. Now, let's talk about rules, boundaries, and limitations. Creating rules, boundaries, limitations, I believe that this is the hardest thing for a lot of people to create right away. So what do you mean? I'm going to give rules, boundaries, limitations to a 2-month-old? Yes, the mother do. See it? The mother creates rules, boundaries, limitations from the moment they're born. We believe that we have to wait a year for a dog to have rules, boundaries, limitations. Well, in the meantime, he gives you rules, boundaries, limitations. See it? So you can wait as long as you want. He knows that you're not sharing rules, boundaries, limitations. So eventually, that's what we're going to call rehabilitation, because you have to rehabilitate the position you lost long time ago. So if you don't want to lose position, if you have the opportunity to raise a puppy, make sure you follow what the parents follow. The mother makes sure they wait, and the mother makes sure she walks with them. And then she tells them how far can they go away from the den. Those are rules, those are boundaries, those are limitations. And then the mother would allow them to experience activities with each other, and when she disagrees, she comes and bites or carries them from the neck. This is how the parents right away share rules, boundaries, limitations. Without you setting rules, boundaries, limitations, they're not going to respect you. So rule, boundary, limitations gives you access to achieve respect. They need rules, boundaries, limitations. Whatever breed they are, if it's a 3-legged dog, 1-eyed dog, the dog can't hear, they still need rules, boundaries, limitations. Now, let's look at dogs as breed, how they are the same and how they're different. But they're all dogs. So a lot of times we get so caught up into the breed. All the German Shepherds are this way. No. German Shepherd is just the skill. It's just the cultural background. He's animal, he's dog. And if he's out of balance, it's because these guys are out of balance. Not because the German Shepherd, not because the name. So who they are is animal, dog, breed, name. The culture behind America love to come name, breed, human. A dog becomes a human. So we're going to use human psychology on a Chihuahua, on a German Shepherd, on a Boxer, on a Rottweiler, on a mutt, anything. Anything. You see it? They're all going, even, mixed dogs or mutts, or however you want to call them. They develop the same side effects as German Shepherd. So it's not the breed. So do not focus on the breed when you're dealing with a behavior, because that's not what it's coming from. The breed is just the skills or the outfit that they're wearing. Is how they look, right? Example, Siberian Huskies. They have the capability to travel for a longer period of time, but all dogs travel. It's just the Siberian Husky, as a breed, can travel for days. That's why it's hard for a Siberian Husky to live in the city, because there's not a lot of walk. Any breed can cause trouble, but the strongest breed will create bigger damage. And this is where I find a lot of my red zone cases. It is important to recognize the power of a strong breed. This is where the pit bulls come in. This is where the cane corsos come in. This is where the mastiffs come in. This is where all those big boys who are very, very powerful, and they can lock on a dog and destroy it. But that's not something that they, when they're little, they say, well, when I get older, I want to be in the news. Like human. A human would premeditate, blah, blah, blah. But they don't. This happens because they're living with a human who just love the breed, but does not understand the animal and the dog. See it? So if you have a frustrated pit bull, it's going to intensify what they do.
Simmer down. Emily, quiet.
Emily is a classic example of a red zone case. And when pit bulls are frustrated, they're like gladiators.
When I am in front of a red zone case, which is a dog that wants to kill you, then what I have to do is just put a leash on him, put rollerblades on me, and take the energy away from him. Red zone dogs is a combination of frustration and dominance. Frustration from the lack of exercise, dominance because he controls the human in the house. So these two combinations create this. You can't stop them. So in order for you to talk to the mind, you have to remove the energy from the body. This is why the rollerblades help me so much. Because when I put my rollerblades and I ask him to move as fast as he can, then I can say, shh. So anybody had any questions?
How do I know if my dog is so out of control that I would need to seek professional advice?
Well, it's best to look for professional help anytime you don't feel sure, right? So if it's something mild, a professional person should come and help you and put it together for you so you can start from the bottom to the top, right? Or at least to have an understanding how to approach the behavior. So I guess you need professional help anytime you don't feel sure about a behavior. You have to play the leadership role. And to control powerful breed, you really have to master the leadership. It's not just halfway, leadership. You have to be 100% leadership. Because being the pack leader gives you access to control instincts and genetics. See, the pack leader controls everything. He tells them when to walk, when to rest, when to eat, who to hunt, which way to go. He says everything. And he doesn't speak and ask everybody, are you guys okay with my decision? He just does. This is how they behave. This is their language. This is their communication. This is how they create pattern behavior. It is no debate. There is no, do you agree with me? And a lot of times I see people talking to the dog, come on, let's go this way. No, y'all want to go this way. Come on. I'll give you a cookie after that. And the dog the whole time was smelling the grass. You have any question?
How does my dog show me he's the leader between us?
Well, it's actually very simple. If he jumps on you when you arrive home, he's a pack leader. If he walks, if you open the door and he goes in front of you, he's the pack leader. If he barks at you and then you feed him, he's the pack leader. If you're sleeping and then he paws you, he's the pack leader. So whenever he makes you do something, he is the pack leader. Simple as that. So when you wake up on your terms, you're the pack leader. When you open the door on your terms, you're the pack leader. When you walk in front of that door, you're the pack leader. When you make them do whatever you want, you are the pack leader. And I'm not talking about 80% of the times. I'm talking about 100% of the time. So if you give 80% of leadership, they give you 80% of follower. And then the other 20, they run the show. So you can't give space for them to lead you. We don't run the relationship with our dogs. Guess who's going to run it? The dogs. Because they require, in order for them to be connected, a pack leader.